Okay, so we got homework complete. Because once day 3 happens, there's no days off. So we go day 3, we stay there. We're going to be sleeping at the Paris every night, all the way to the final table. Sleep.
We ready. Who ready? We ready. Who ready? Who? We ready. Who? Who ready? Who? We ready. Who? Who ready? We ready. Been ready. I waited. My turn. On God. Hell steady. I keep dropping back to back. I keep going. It's 11.
Good morning, y'all. What a beautiful morning it is here in Lake Las Vegas. It's going to be a balmy 115, 116. We already got a little bit of sun. Probably get some more. But in the meantime, let's go into the office, okay? And let's talk some poker, okay? Because yesterday, I was really dialed in. So we didn't do a lot of hand breakdowns and things like that. So I figured, you know what? Let's get into the office right here. Let's crunch some numbers. Let's get Christian and the editors on board here. And maybe we'll play back. Well, let's play back one hand. Because there's one hand I want to show you. And let's cut to that right now.
About a $12 million first place prize, I would imagine. That's what Daniel Wyman won last year, our defending champion.
That is a nice sum of money.
That is a good sum of money.
And it went to a good cause.
I can have a heck of a weekend on that.
Yeah. You could have maybe a heck of a couple weekends on that.
Hirsch going to limp in. Negreanu is going to kind of attack.
I think yes.
And Negreanu's now got Hirsch covered. And this is, we haven't seen that until recently. And Hirsch is going to call.
Pocket 4, pocket 3.
And rightfully so. Not only does he have the best hand, but
It's jack.
he has a hand that is very happy calling.
Two flush draw.
Unfortunately for Hirsch, he's missed.
This is the type of board where aggression will probably just win out, even if you don't have the best hand. It's very difficult for Hirsch to defend here because if his opponent has an ace, he's just dead. Which makes his overall equity look a lot worse than, let's say, a 10 high or jack high board. He's
Wow,
going
look
to
at
float,
this.
though. Oh, he raises. Wow.
And I was wondering, and I started to go through this before. I was wondering if Hirsch would be aggressive versus some players, but defer and to Daniel being on his left. But the answer is very much no.
Nice play by Hirsch there.
Yeah.
Getting it through.
So we've seen kind of Hirsch be tight at times, but he's got a bag of tricks that he is not afraid to use.
Yeah, and like you said, he gave a little bit of a, I don't care who you are, you're not going to slow me down type of vibe there. I like that.
All right, so you saw the clip. And, whatever, you saw me get bluffed. I had queen 6 high. The guy has queen 8. But notice, when he check raised me on the flop, I took more time than normal. The reason for that was my spidey senses were firing. I really felt like this was a spot. Didn't take the spot, but you can't take every one. And I didn't have a lot to go on other than just there's one physical tell when he check raised a flop. But the physical tell could be one of two things. It could be, a scared ace, or it could just be air, you know what I mean? And I guess a scared ace, you don't necessarily want to continue with queen 6. But in retrospect, I thought about this spot more, and this isn't something that's GTO or anything like that, but what I thought as I went home was what would have been a cool play is if when he made it 9,500, I just took the initiative and made it 22-5, because I had plenty of wiggle room at the time. Because here's the thing. Well, he limped with an ace before, and I think that's probably why he thought, oh, okay, well, I'm going to get credit for an ace. But he doesn't have deuce 4. I could, because, when you're in the big blind against a small blind, this was an interesting level, too, because it was 10-15, right? So at 10-15, the small blind's going to limp a ton. You just don't fold anything. So his range is going to be way wider. But when I raise now, he doesn't have deuce 4 anymore, but I can. Unless it's deuce 4 suited, maybe he takes a flyer. I still can, because when you're in that spot, generally, after a limp, you want to be polar with your raises. You want to raise some big little offsuits, like queen 6 off. You want to raise the bottom of your range, like deuce 4 off sometimes. And then, of course, your strong hands, too. And then the middle ones, like maybe jack 8, jack 9, queen 7 suited, you take a flop with, right? So that's the general idea. But anyway, so I didn't take that spot. But anyway, my spidey senses were on. I really was paying attention. I was pretty dialed in. played the feature table for 4 hours, and it was really hot. It just was just hot, you know, and that's why, you know, Phil Ivey's a big proponent about it, and he's absolutely right that it is unfair if they try to keep you there the whole time, right? He doesn't mind doing it sometimes, but he wants it to be fair and equitable, right? So when you are a big name in poker, they're going to choose your table more often, and it is a disadvantage when you play an 8-9 day tournament because fatigue is real, right? You are going to get tired more under lights. That's why I wear the glasses to help a little bit with the brightness, the ones that Phil Ivey gave you. But overall, you know, and it's not cool up there. If it was cool, mommy, not a problem. But for some reason, I've noticed this year, like, it's just way hotter in those feature tables than normal. All right, let's talk about a couple hands. Like I said, last night, you know, things were cruising. I was up to 165K. Things were looking good. And you know what? I'm gonna get my lighting guy back because this one green one doesn't make sense. They're all blue except that one just decides to be green. Whatever. Anyway, I really just did not run hot. I got all the way down to about 74K going into the last round, and just, it wasn't nothing spewy. There was no real big pots. Like the two biggest pots I played, I'm about to tell you, and it was really just like, you know, open, get 3-bet, 4-bet, fold, you know, like pretty solid. I was not doing anything spewy at all. So let's talk about two hands. This was the big one that I lost, okay, and this one I lost a decent amount of money. But yeah, this was the biggest pot I lost basically. But I'm in the cutoff, or the hijack, pardon me. I was in the hijack playing, what did I have, about 150 at the time. My opponent had maybe 100, 110, something like that. So the blinds are 1 and 2,000. I'm in the hijack. I make it, my min raise to 4,000 with 9, 10 of hearts. And the big blind comes. The flop is 10 deuce 3. There's no heart here. Now, solvers will tell you that on these boards, 10 deuce 3 rainbow, you can go massive. You can go overbet. Like some guys are doing 2x pot, especially if they raise from under the gun. Now they, you know, the solvers will tell you can go huge. I go big, but not that big. I bet 7 into what's 11 there with my top pair. He calls. Now the turn is an ace of spades, putting backdoor spades out there. He checks. I think there's a decent number of like ace 4, ace 5 combos that he's going to call flop with. Like, what are their draws on 10 deuce 3 other than 4, 5, ace 4, ace 5, right? And if he has a 10, you know, decent chances 10 is better than mine, right? 10 jack, 10 queen, 10 king, 10 ace. And then, of course, maybe we beat 10-8, we beat 10-7. See, that's 10-6 probably folds. So it's a little thin. So he checks. I just decide I'm not going to bluff at this. I'm gonna check back, which is what is a bad card in this dynamic when I bet big on flop. River is a 9. Gin, baby. Gin, 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 gin. Gin, 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 gin. He checks. Now I'm really hoping he has the ace 4 or the ace 5 because we're going to target that. We're not going to target a 10 specifically. We're going to target the ace 4, ace 5s with our sizing. And we go for 20 into 25. You know, really hoping to get the ace 5, ace 4 calls, basically. That's about it. And maybe some king 10, you know, maybe just a 10. He's like, YOLO, I'm going to call. But something about it. All right, right before I bet, I'm like, maybe you should just check here, bro. Wait, how did you check? You have 2 pair. Spidey sense, someone off. I checked. I decided to bet 20. He makes it 45. It's okay, me 45. So I fold the hand. So it looks very reasonable, like he can have 4, 5. But the question is, what other value did he have? Sets? Aces up? I'm not really sure, but I don't think there's a lot of hands that he's going to turn into a bluff on this flop, in this situation. So I fold my hand pretty confidently. And the other one, not even that big a deal, really. Like I said, none of the pots were that big, but the guy raises under the gun 1. At this point, I'm playing about 110. Yeah, about 110. Guy raises under the gun 1 to 4,500, had 1 in 2,000. I'm on the button, and I pick up the ace queen of hearts. And I make it 10-5, which he makes, you know, he's min raising to 2x. I'm making it about 5. I don't mind doing this, you know, especially against weaker players who I think I'm gonna have good control against after the flop. It's open tax-ish. Again, term we're gonna get into more deeply at another time. So he calls, right? He calls my 3-bet, and the flop's king, king, 9, 2 diamonds. Not a great flop for us. I block king, queen of hearts, which is nice. I mean, I block ace, king if you ever decided not to 4-bet me with that, which is possible too. I bet 7,000, you know, hoping to just really pick it up here. But it looks a lot like he might have a pocket pair or something like that. So it's going to be, you know, but again, he could have ace, queen, ace, jack, queen jack, jack 10 suit. I don't know. You could have a bunch of hands. So I bet 7 to 8 calls. Turns a 10, he checks. Now I have nothing, right? I mean, I have pretty close to the bottom of my range. So what's worse than this that I could have that 3 bets? I could have some suited aces that are like, you know, ace 4 suited, ace 5 suited type hands. But realistically, as played, this is the bottom of my range. So shoot bluff with the bottom of your range. Now, nah, I don't think so. I mean, I do have connectivity to the board. I block some stuff, but the problem is that 10's pretty juicy for his check call range as well. Now, the river's the 8 of diamonds, completing the flush, and he checks. Do you bluff here? Well, you know, bottom of range. I don't have a diamond, but it does not feel to me at all like he was check calling this flop, checking this turn, and checking river to fold. It just felt like he was going to pay me off, and pretty certain he was. He had 2 jacks. He called with the 2 jacks. Now, okay, sure, I could have gone. He had me in bad shape on the turn. I could have gone ham and just go bomb, 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 and rep the ace king, you know. But that really isn't in line with how we were playing day 2. I wasn't looking to play high risk poker, and we really didn't. So it was really wild to me. I guess, you know, we're playing pretty high stakes already. From 165 to 74, just losing those 2 hands, and then like not much else. But we made it through the day with 93K. Feel good about that. We're gonna take another rest day. We're gonna get in the light stim, bed. Gonna make some lunch. I don't know, probably get a little more sun, just lay in the pool for a bit. We shall see. And then tomorrow, we go down for the long haul. There's no more, this is our last day at home, okay? Because once day 3 happens, there's no days off. So we go day 3, we stay there. We're gonna be sleeping at the Paris every night, all the way to the final table. We get a break the night before the final table. We have a day off, so then I'll come home, rest and relax. But yeah, I'm gonna really enjoy today, soak it in, and see where the day leads. Probably get some Beat Saber in or some, you know. This is fun. I'm like shadow boxing myself. This is cool. All right, probably do a little something. Just got inside from a nice schwitz in the pool for a little bit, and I didn't realize, but already we have the table draws. And let's take a look at the table draw. I'm going to do some homework on the table draw because I don't know a lot of these players. So what I'll do is I'll go to their hand and mob. I'll, Google their names, see what they've done, what their buy-ins play, and all that stuff. One guy I don't have to because I know one player at the table. You probably won't, but I know Greg Kelly. Greg Kelly and I used to play on the same soccer team. He was goalie extraordinaire. I was grinder, skillless, forward, defense, bad, whatever. Just put me anywhere until I hurt my knee. But yeah, I'm going to chat with him too. We talk hockey, Vegas Golden Knights. Our chat is called, actually, because we have our chat is called, is a Hockey, Robots, and Armageddon. Because we talk AI, we talk hockey, we talk end of the world stuff in there. All right, so we know him. I'm going to put together a little, thingamajigger with all the players that I do know. There'll be 2 more that'll be added, most likely from day 2D. But having 6 or 7 of 9 is pretty darn worthwhile. So I'm going to check. Okay, so we got homework complete. Did my job. Made myself some notes and all that. Okay. Seat 1 is yours truly. Top-notch champion of the Poker Players Championship, 2-time Player of the Year, WSOP, 7 WSOP bracelets, yada, yada. Spent most of my life at number 1 all-time on the money list, which I won't be anymore because of Tritons. And that's me. Yay. Seat number 2, we've got Florian Lebong. He's got 164. So this was interesting. He's only got $4,500 in earnings and just 6 results total. Best cash, like $1,600. Ditto for seat 3, Brian Wells from Alabama, $108,000, but he's got $6,155 earnings. He hasn't played anything above a $400 buy-in. Best cash, $1,200. So that's really good. Seat 2 and seat 3. So when it's my button with these stacks, I'm not going to be limping. Oh man, are you guys going to see this before the day of play? I'm going to tell you too much strategy until later and get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Okay, all I'm saying is won't be limping on their button. Okay, figure that out for yourselves. Seat number 4, we've got Alison Piakozuich from Brazil. Decent stack, $229,000. Also has $641,000 earnings. Best cash of $175. Seat 5, we got Greg Kelly. He's a mixed game cash guy. Doesn't play many tournaments at all. $49K in earnings, $10K best cash, and a decent goalie. Yeah, I had to add that. Give him something, you know, some sort of props. All right, seat 6. This one was interesting because he did not show up in Hendon Mob. Marius Koudzamanis. However, I did find a lot of online results in WSOP. He's played GG International WSOP events. He's also played some EPT and some stuff in Europe, and he's played high rollers. So I imagine, you know, he's the chip leader at the table. I have ideas for, you know, I can't tell you because if they watch this, you know. I have ideas for how I plan to handle that gentleman as well as the other. And last but not least, in the 7th seat, we've got Adam Johnson. I believe it's the right one. Adam Johnson's a pretty common name. He's got 75K in earnings, best cash 40K. So overall, looks like a good table. There will be 2 people filling in seats 8 and 9. Don't know who those are. They'll come from day 1D. But the 2 that stick out as, I wouldn't say problematic, but as something to really, you know, focus in on would be the 2 guys with, you know, the 2 high stakes guys, the Alisson Piekazuich from Brazil, and then Marius Koudzamanis. Those 2 are the ones that I will spend the majority of my time in the early going really focusing in on. The others, I have a pretty good idea, you know, considering their pedigree, on what I'm going to expect from them. But we'll see. Everything can change. You never know. So yeah, homework done. And veg time. All right, people, it's almost 6 p.m. I did some errands. I went over to get a haircut. It's a place called Barber League in the mall, and the dude was a poker player and a big fan. And it's so funny because he ran into me at the World Series a year. He goes, let me cut your hair, man. And you did good. I mean, not the top because I don't do that, but like the beard, looking cool. Did the fade, the whole deal. I'm liking it. It's cool. And then I went to Sprouts, picked up some things. In addition to that, what are we going to do? We're going to get our stuff ready for tomorrow. I'm going to make something to eat right now. I'm going to do light stim bed. Did I say that right? Wow. Light stim bed. Yeah, I think light stim bed. We're going to do that. I mean, don't worry about the top. I'm just saying. It's the sides and shit, you know? Sleek. So I'm going to do light. After I eat, maybe we'll give it a minute. I'm going to definitely get this headset on and do some stuff. Pick out an outfit for tomorrow. Bring a whole bunch of groceries down to the break room because we're in it for the long haul. This is it, you know. Intention for day 3 is going to, you guys are like, oh, that's crazy. 93K. End the day with 600,000. That's not as hard as it sounds, y'all. It's not as hard as it sounds. We're going to be playing pretty high stakes by the end of day 3, and 600K is within reach. We going to do it. On that note, peace. On that note, peeps. Peace. See you later.